Hello, 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 everybody. How's everybody doing today on a Friday? Happy Friday to you guys. I am a little bit drained up in here. I've been learning quite a lot today. So, as I'm thinking of what I'm going to talk about for my live, one thought came to mind is just talking about sharing and educating people on the health and wellness part that we're all struggling with. And the best way to deliver a message is through stories. So if you want to hear an interesting story, my mouth is not functioning today because my brain is full. So if you want to hear an interesting story of what had led me to the hospital, being attached to these devices and having my heart checked at 10 years old, you might want to stick around to the end to hear it. And it's probably not going to come to a surprise to most of you because you probably already might know or might not. Anyways, as you guys are hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from, and if you're watching me live, if you're watching me on replay, and how is your day going, because mine, like I said, has been very busy putting a lot of information into my head today. A lot of training today. So my head hurts, my head is full, but I'm still here for you. Okay, so I am Yana Kasperzak from Georgian, Ontario, where I am not really sure what the weather is like outside because I have not stuck my nose out there yet. I am pretty sure it's hot or humid because it doesn't look too sunny. And let me know if this is the first time you're watching my broadcast or if you've been watching me for a while. If it's the first time, just say hello and say, I'm a newbie, I'm new, and I'll always reach out and say hi to you. And if you're a repeat watcher, thank you for your support and your dedication and for continuing to watch my crazy long ass videos. I am trying to shorten them, but it takes time to master this skill. It is a skill. Okay, and there's a lot of skills that I am working on, and that's one of them. Speaking of, I would like to know how long I'm going to be going for, even though it's probably already been like 2 minutes, but I'll put my timer on and see how that goes. Okay, so, and as your social media coach, mentor, friend, buddy, support system, whatever it is, I would love to get your interaction and your feedback whenever you have a chance or a moment on better understanding how I can help you become more successful in your life. Right. Okay, and as always, if you find value in anything that I share, anything that I teach, anything that I preach, or whatever you want to call it, pass it along to those that might want it as well. Sharing is caring at the end of the day, right? Right, that's right. Now, I started this new thing on Wednesday called the light bulb moment. What that is basically when you're listening to something or you're reading something that I have brought to you and you have this light bulb moment where like, oh my god, that's awesome. Or you know what a light bulb moment is, right? So when you have that moment, instead of putting the light bulb down below, you're going to put a ghost emoji down below. Why a ghost emoji? Because I am a Casper. I am a ghost, even though I'm not really a ghost. Boo. Put a Casper emoji. And the more intense that light bulb moment is, the more Casper emojis you can put. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a Casper emoji, not a ghost emoji. Okay, so now basically, because I had to write a little bit down to kind of stick to my point. You guys know how I am. I get sidetracked and it's like, oh, squirrel outside. We don't have squirrels yet. Okay, so I remember when I was about 10 years old, my chest hurting, like literally at my sternum, it would be hurting. It would be like pinching and prickling and almost like something like stuck and feeling really tight that you have a really hard time breathing. Now, at 10 years old, if you are experiencing something like that, as a parent, to you, to me now being a parent, would be a major concern. I would be scared. What the heck is wrong with my child? My child doesn't complain about anything hurting, and now all of a sudden she says her heart hurts. Where does it hurt? It hurts right here. This is exactly where the heart is, because as a child you think the heart is right here on the right side, right? For you, probably, like when you're looking, it's like over here. The heart is on the right side, you would think, but it's actually right in the middle, right behind your sternum. So that's where it was hurting. So bringing that to my parents' attention, of course, they were concerned, they were worried, brought me to the hospital. And at such a young age, I didn't really, I don't recall too much conversation, too much things happening, but what I do remember is having these probes, I guess you would call them. There's little sticky circles that put on your chest with wires attached to them, attached to the machine. And then it's beeping and it's making noises and it's printing. It's printing my heartbeat. And as a child, you're like, ooh, that's cool, that's fascinating, right? But as a parent, you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're freaking out a little bit, right? And again, I don't remember this, but I can only imagine what my parents might have been going through. So, and like I said, I had no clue what the heck was going on and why they had to check my heart and why I had these things attached to me. I understood, but at the same time I didn't really understand. So the only thing I hear then after is her heart is fine, perfect beats, everything perfect, everything looks good. Well, what the heck is it? Why is the heart hurting? Why is it affecting this area of the body? Right, you have to understand, and you probably already do, that everything in the body is connected. So sometimes when one thing hurts, it could affect something else. So I went through this twice in a few months span. Twice I went through this, and so did my parents. Twice I was told, my parents were told, her heart is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with her heart. Well, tell me, what is it? So having the parents that don't give up, that clearly love you and want and need to have the answers. They found the answer. What was it? It was the liver. Why was it the liver? Why? So a little bit more testing was done. And basically, again, I don't know the whole step-by-step story, but it was the new food that was introduced into our diet that I was just obsessed with, and you probably are too, or used to be too, as well. And it's called potato chips. Who doesn't love potato chips? I don't really love them as much anymore because I always kind of remember that experience. Even though now as I'm grown up or growing up, because we're always growing up, it's becoming more and more of like a scary feeling. But when you're young, it's exciting. You're like, ooh, they had my heart checked and they was doing this and they was doing that, and I had the paper and I had my heartbeat, and I can still, and this is when I started learning how to draw the heartbeat, right? How it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? An interesting fact you probably didn't know about me. And this was in 1996 approximately. This is when the potato chips were coming out and they were widely available in Russia, more available and affordable to everyone. And as loving parents, you want to give your children what they want, so you're giving them the chips because they want the chips and it makes them happy, and they would eat a lot of these chips, and then something starts hurting. So now at the end of the day, once I stopped eating these chips, I went back to my old self, my normal self, my outdoor, wild, mischievous self who was running around and taking care of all these stray cats and dogs, pets that people did not want anymore. So now I hear my son up there. Do you think the chips are healthier now as to what they were back then? I don't know. I honestly do not know, but I would imagine not so much, because back then they would actually take potato chips and fry them and put them in the bag, whereas now machines do them and it makes so much stuffers in them that you probably have no idea. So do you think you should be eating these potato chips that sent this 32-year-old, when she was 10 years old, to the hospital having her heart checked? Probably not. This is the reason why I limit my chips intake. I still like them, I still do, but I limit my chips intake. And the same thing for my kids. all of us try to avoid chips as much as possible, because that's one of the foods that is considered junk, and you should not be having that in your house, because if you have it, chances are you're going to eat it, because you're not going to want to throw them out. Who likes to waste food? Who likes to waste money? Right? Right. Instead, here's a solution. Take some veggies, okay? You have a potato peeler? Well, get a knife. Just really thin slices. Slice them up, okay? Sprinkle them with your favorite spices. Could be just salt and pepper, could be shawarma chicken spice mix, okay? Whatever favorite spice you have, sprinkle those veggies with those spices and a little bit of olive oil. A little bit, not too much. You don't want to drown them. Lay them on the baking sheet. Put that baking sheet, I believe it's 200 degrees for like 30 minutes. Very slow baking process will make you veggie chips. Any flavor you want and any veggie you want. So instead of having chips, you have veggie chips that you have made yourself. You can do the same thing with a potato, technically, because it's still a vegetable. And you can have your vegetable potato chips made in your own house that are a lot healthier, that are not going to affect you and the ways that I was affected by eating these potato chips. Anyways, have a great Friday. It was a pleasure talking to all of you guys. I got to go find out what my son is doing now. It's cleaning day. Friday is our clean day. Ask my kids, what's Wednesday? Folding clothes day. What's Friday? Cleaning day. There, they have 2 days that they are forced, nicely, to do something around the house to help the one and only mama they have. Because this mama needs to stay sane, and for her to stay sane, she needs to have everyone in this household contribute in the ways that they can. It isn't always easy, but it's done, and it teaches them responsibility at such a young age. And patience. It teaches me a lot of patience. Anyways, have a great Friday, and it was a pleasure talking to all you guys. Hope to see you next time. Bye!